from before. We have been doing incarnations forgiveness from a very, very long period of time. Almost, I think, 3 months now, we are doing incarnations forgiveness. What is the difference? Very simple. We are trying to neutralize our karma and we are trying to heal our incarnations. Not only the mistakes that we have done in this lifetime, in this birth, we are not only working on that, but we are trying to work on the mistakes that we have done even in our past incarnations. Then, next point, we are doing relationship healing for the last 1 month. In this last 1 month, we are doing relationship healing with others, with ourselves. We have done a lot of curse healing that is troubling our relations. And now finally, we have come to the last week of relationship healing. So if you are joining us for the first time today, please feel free to look into our other videos which are uploaded on YouTube, and so that you can relate to them. If you can just have a consistency of the healings that has been done, it will be much better for you. So today's session, in fact, this whole week, the next 5 days, we will be doing relationship healing with the universal power, with God, with Guru, with the higher beings, and actually try to understand our connection, our relationship with them. Not only for this incarnation, but for all the incarnations. So today's session will be a generalized session to understand this concept first. Till now, we have done relationship healing with the people who are around us, our parents, our spouse, our children, the people who are around us. But have you ever thought, how is your relationship with God? Have you ever thought, how is your relationship with the universe, with nature, with the higher power which is helping us live our entire lifetime, after lifetime? The power from where we have come. Think about it. What do you think? From where have you come? From where has this physical body arrived? Science might say it has come from a molecule, it has come from an amoeba, it has come from that small little tiny little object which had first life. But from where did that first life come? From where did that small little molecule come? Who put in life inside that amoeba or inside that molecule? From where did the universe come? From where did the planets come? There is a lot of questions which can be asked and can be answered. Now let us not go into a debate related to that. But what I as in general understand is there is a supreme power. Some of us call that supreme power God. Some of us call him Allah. Some of us call him Jesus. Some of us call them Vishnu. Some of them call them Ishwar, Bhagwan. We have so many names, and each one of us maybe follow any one name or any one photograph or any one form, and we consider that to be God. We consider that to be the universal power. There are many of us who feel that there is no one called God, and there is just one supreme power that has created us all. I am perfectly fine with your views. I don't have any contradiction to your views. But I have just one thought form that I want all of us to think about. How is our relationship with that power? When do we actually think of that power? How do we think of that power? How do we use that power? Let us all think it one by one. Let's come to the first question. What do we think about that power? Do we just consider that power to be very, very far from us, who has just created us and then forgotten about us, who had just, thrown small little lives onto the planet and then forgotten about them? कि जो इनके साथ जो होना है वो मुझे क्या जाता है, मैंने तो क्रिएट करके छोड़ दिया. Is it something like that? Or is he constantly controlling our life? What do you think? Is that power constantly controlling our life? Do you feel that that power is like a tyrant, very cruel, very, like always waiting to punish us? Or do you think that the power is very, very loving, very, very caring, very nourishing, nurturing, all merciful? What do you feel? Think about it. What is your connection with God? Now, my second question. When do you think of that power? When do you recall God? Only when you are into deep, deep trouble? Or when you are very, very happy? Or every time? हम भगवान को कब याद करते हैं? जब लाइफ में तूफान चल रहा होता है, सब कुछ उलट पुलट हो रहा होता है, तब हम भगवान को याद करते हैं. जब जिंदगी बहुत खुश है, तब हम उनको याद करते हैं कि हमेशा याद करते हैं. My third question. How do you behave with him? Do you call him with great reverence, with a lot of respect, and you fear him? This is the most important point. Do you feel that there is fear within you for God? Or do you feel there is love within you for God? Are you God fearing? Are you God loving? How do you take his name? Do you call him with, like a lot of adjectives before the name and then you take his name? Or do you just feel like he's like your family member? God is like your family member. God is like your father. God is like your mother. Just the way we take the name of our mother, we generally call her Ma or Mummy, and we call it sort of love, right? माँ का नाम सबसे प्यार से लिया जाता है. दर्द में माँ का नाम लिया जाता है, खुशी में माँ का नाम लिया जाता है. Even if by chance we touch something hot, we instantly pull our hands back and say, Mummy. Isn't it? We do that now. So just the way we take the name of our parents, do we take the name of God? When do we take the name of God? Think about it. That will show you your relationship with God. That will show you how you are living your day-to-day life with this supreme power. Be aware of your own thoughts. कि आप भगवान से कैसे बात करते हो, आप भगवान के लिए क्या करते हो, आप भगवान को कैसे सोचते हो, कब उनको याद करते हो. That will tell you how is your relationship with God. Whether you call it God, whether you call it the supreme power, whether you just call it an invisible power, doesn't matter. Think about it. What is your relationship with him? Do you have barter exchange with God? भगवान आप मेरे को ये दे दो, मैं आपको ये दूंगा. Something like that. Do you do that? Do you trade with God? Do you do business with God? That God, please give me this result, this fantastic result, 90% in my boards, and I will give you one box of laddu. Do you do trading with God? Or do you have limitless faith? Whether he gives you anything or he doesn't give you anything, it doesn't matter. You are always equally loving him. You are always trying to give him something back. कैसा है आपका रिश्ता भगवान के साथ? आप हमको कुछ दो, हम आपको कुछ देंगे, ऐसा है? क्या आप हमको कुछ दो ना दो, हम तो आपको हमेशा प्यार देंगे, ऐसा। This whole week we will be taking up one aspect, one small aspect, relation aspect with God, and not only with God, with Guru and with the higher beings. We will also try to understand what who are the higher beings who are around us, and then we will try to improve our relationship with the supreme power. Now, coming to the forgiveness aspect of it, sometimes no matter what our relationship is with God, we do many such activities which really hurt God, no matter who that God is. We have really hurted God a lot of times by doing certain activities. And that is the place where our relationship forgiveness comes into play. God, according to me, it's my understanding. I'm just sharing with you what I feel is the truth. He is all loving, all merciful. That is the reason why in every single prayer we do say these words to the all loving, all merciful God. So God actually doesn't care whether you give him something or not, whether you pray to him or not, whether you take his name or not. He really doesn't bother because he's so huge, he's so powerful, he has everything in this world. He doesn't really require anything from you or from me or from us. But he is very happy when he sees that one of his child is trying to help the other child. We are all children of God. So when one of us tries to help the other child of God, God is very happy. He's really enjoying to see that one of his child is trying to help the other child. But what really makes him sad is when he sees that one of my child is trying to hurt my other child. भगवान बहुत खुश होते हैं जब वो देखते हैं कि उनका एक बच्चा अपने दूसरे बच्चे को हेल्प करने का कोशिश कर रहा है, लव दे रहा है, प्यार दे रहा है, रिस्पेक्ट दे रहा है। लेकिन उन्हें बहुत तकलीफ होती है जब वो देखते हैं कि मेरा एक बच्चा मेरे दूसरे बच्चे को तकलीफ देने की कोशिश कर रहा है। You try to think about it as a parent. If you are a mother or you are a father, will you ever be happy if one of your child is fighting with the other child? If one of your child is trying to betray the other child? If one of your child is constantly hurting, punishing the other child, will you ever be happy? Perhaps no, right? So the same situation is with God. God cannot be happy if one child is hurting the other child. So each and every time we hurt another child of God, we are actually hurting God. हर बार हम भगवान के एक बच्चे को तकलीफ पहुंचाते हैं, चाहे वो कैसे भी क्यों ना हो, हम भगवान को तकलीफ पहुंचा रहे हैं डायरेक्टली. The moment one of God's child is crying because of us, God is crying because of us. The moment we physically injure one child of God, we actually physically injure God. I remember a small story. When I was very young, my mother had told me this story, that there was this temple of goddess Mahakali, and one beggar was sitting outside the temple. He wanted some food or something. He wanted to go inside the temple. So the people out there, they did not allow him to go inside the temple, and they really beat him up. The beggar went away. Now, when these priests, these people, they went to inside the temple, they were shocked. They were in awe because they saw that there was blood stripping off Ma Kali's idol. ओके, आई रिपीट दिस इन हिंदी। जब मैं बहुत छोटी थी तो मैंने अपनी मम्मी से एक स्टोरी सुना था कि माँ काली के मंदिर में कोई बेगर था जो जाना चाहता था, उसे प्रसाद चाहिए था, कुछ खाना चाहिए था। वहां के लोगों ने उसे अंदर जाने नहीं दिया और उसे मार के वहां से भगा दिया। जब वो लोग अंदर मंदिर के अंदर गए, उन्होंने देखा कि माँ काली के मूर्ति से ब्लड निकल रहा है। दिस इज व्हाट इज द रियलिटी। When we offer food, when we offer lots and lots of food, fruits, flowers, everything to God actually doesn't have any utility of it. God के पास वो कोई पर्पस नहीं है, उतना सारा लड्डू गॉड क्या करेंगे उसका। But if you can give that same laddu to some hungry children, God will be more happy. We usually offer, Banarasi sari, and we offer crores and crores of jewelry to God sometimes. Some of us, I'm not talking about everyone, some of us do that. Instead, if you can just use that same crores and crores of rupees to give to some orphanage, to give to some people who do not have home to stay, God will be much, much, much more happy. So, what I am trying to say today is just for once, be aware of your own relationship with God and think in your own self, what am I doing with Him? Why am I giving Him a crore rupees of jewelry? Do I want something in return? Am I trying to bribe God? Or is it just out of love? If it is just out of love, perfect, go ahead and do it. But if it is out of a bribe, if it is out of fear कि अगर मैंने भगवान को नहीं दिया तो भगवान मेरे से सब छीन लेंगे. If I don't give it to God, God will take away my money, God will take away my prosperity, God will take away my business. If it is out of fear, then for once, just for once, stop and think. Does God really want that crore of rupees from you? Or God has given you crores and crores of rupees so that you can save, so that you can help the crores and crores of children of God who are suffering. आपको पैसे क्यों दिए हैं भगवान ने? भगवान को वापस से ज्वेलरी देने के लिए कि उनके छोटे छोटे बच्चे जिनके पास पैसे नहीं है उनको हेल्प करने के लिए? So today's session, on this note, let us begin the forgiveness session today. I will not challenge anybody's belief. I will not say that anybody is right, anybody is wrong. I will just request you to be aware of your relationship with God. And anyone, for me, everybody is same. मैं जितने शिद्दत से अल्लाह को मानती हूँ, मैं उतनी ही शिद्दत से क्राइस्ट की पूजा करती हूँ. मैं उतनी ही शिद्दत से कृष्णा को मानती हूँ और उतनी ही शिद्दत से गुरुद्वारा जाती हूँ. So I have been to almost every spiritual place with equal amount of love and affection for God. So for me, everybody is same. So today when we do the forgiveness, I might just keep on saying God because that's the most generalized term we have. But when I say God, that includes everyone, everyone whom you have belief in, on whom you have faith, whom you go ahead and approach every day. आप कृष्णा को अप्रोच करते हो, आप कृष्णा सोचो. आप क्राइस्ट को अप्रोच करते हो, आप क्राइस्ट सोचो. मेरे लिए दोनों सेम. So today, let us start this forgiveness. We will be aware of our own life, of our own relationship with God, with that spiritual power, with that ultimate power from where we have come. And we will be aware if we have ever hurt God by hurting His children. हम इस बात का ध्यान रखेंगे कि क्या हमने कभी भी भगवान के बच्चों को तकलीफ पहुंचा के भगवान को डायरेक्ट तकलीफ पहुंचाई है? अगर हाँ, तो माफी मांग लेंगे. एज सिंपल एज दैट. because God is all loving and all merciful. The moment we say sorry, He is ready to forgive us. But not only is sorry important, what is more important is to learn the lesson. If we can be aware that yes, we have hurt God by hurting His children, then we will learn the lesson and we will train ourselves not to do that again, not to do that same mistake again, not to hurt His children again, not to hurt Him again. Okay? So let us begin the forgiveness practice. I request everyone to please close your eyes, relax yourself, and just be aware of your own life. Be aware of your relationship with your God, with the universal power. Think about it. How do you behave with God? How do you take His name? When do you take His name? How many times of the day do you take His name? How do you feel about Him when you think of Him? जब आप भगवान के बारे में सोचते हैं, आपके मन में क्या ख्याल आता है? प्यार आता है? डर आता है? जस्ट कोई ऐसी चिंता के इट इज जस्ट अ रेगुलर एक्टिविटी, करना है करते हैं? What is your emotion when you think about God? Do you feel you are in love with God? Do you feel as if God is someone without whom you just can't imagine your life? Just the way you think about your life partner, just the way you think about your beloved, just the way you think about your children. Can you imagine God to be like your child? Can you imagine God to be like your friend? Can you imagine God to be like your mother or father? How do you see God? Think about it. Feel from your heart. Be aware of your life. It is your relationship with God. Nobody else is involved. And this relationship is forever. Incarnation after incarnation. Your mother, your father, your husband, your wife, your children, your brothers, your sisters, they will all go away after this incarnation. They will all go in their own journey. These relationships are not permanent, they are very, very temporary. Only for one lifetime, two lifetimes, three lifetimes. But your relationship with God is for hundreds and thousands of lifetimes. When you were a plant, God was with you. When you were an animal, taking animal incarnations, God was with you. When you took your human incarnations, God was with you. Even if we were a criminal in one of the incarnations, God was with us. Today, when we have become pranic healers, we have become spiritual, God is with us. So this relationship is permanent. It is forever and ever. So एक बार सोचिए इस रिश्ते के बारे में जो इतना परमानेंट है, जो कभी खत्म नहीं होने वाला. आपके बच्चे, आपकी बीवी, आपके हस्बैंड सब छोड़ के चले जाएंगे एक दिन. जो रहेगा वो है गॉड. So how is your relationship with God? Feel it from the heart. And now let us think. Only in this lifetime, because we don't remember our past lifetimes. Only in this lifetime, Have I ever hurted God by hurting His children? Have I ever tortured God by torturing His children? Have I ever blamed God by blaming His children? Have I ever cursed God by cursing His children? Have I ever made God cry by making His children cry? Have I done these ever in this lifetime? If yes, then it's time to ask for forgiveness and improve our relationship with our Divine Father, Divine Mother. Imagine yourself to be a brilliant, beautiful white light. Bring your awareness outside your physical body. Verbally affirm, I am the soul. I am a spiritual being of divine light, divine love, and divine power. Each time we use the word divine, it means God. I am a soul. I am made up of God's love, God's light, and God's power. मैं दिव्य पेय, दिव्य रोशनी और दिव्य शक्ति से बनी हुई हूँ. मैं आत्मा हूँ, मैं ये शरीर नहीं. So if I am made out of God, if I am made out of God's love, God's light, God's power, then I and God are the same. I am coming from God. I am a child of God. Similarly, the person sitting next to me, the person standing in front of me, my parents, my children, my wife, my son, my husband, everyone has come from God. Everyone is a child of God. Just look at yourself like a brilliant, beautiful white light. Look at every person around you like a brilliant, beautiful white light. We are all from God. Now look at God. Look at the image of God. चाहे आप कृष्णा को देखें, चाहे Christ को देखें, चाहे अल्लाह को देखें. Just look at God. God is also a beautiful, brilliant white light. Let us put our hands in front of our heart. Look at that image of God and say, Atma Namaste. Atma Namaste. I humbly salute the divinity within this image. The image of Christ, the physical body of Christ, is just the body. We are saluting the divinity within Christ. The physical body of Krishna is just the body. We are saluting the divinity within Krishna. We salute the divine, supreme power within the image. Atma Namaste. I, the soul, I humbly ask for forgiveness. If I have ever hurted you, if I have ever hurted any child of yours, I know I have hurted you. Please forgive me. Please forgive me for all the hurt and pain that I have caused to any of your child. Please forgive me for all the hurt and pain that I have caused to all children of God. If I have ever hurted any plant, any animal, or any human, If I have caused hurt and pain to God by hurting His children, whether physically, mentally, emotionally, verbally, financially, sexually, spiritually, if I have caused any hurt and pain, I know I have caused this hurt and pain to God. Please forgive me. Please forgive me and let go. Let go of this matter. I, the soul, I, the child of God, I am truly, deeply, sincerely sorry. प्लीज मुझे माफ कर दीजिए अगर मैंने आपके किसी भी बच्चे को तकलीफ पहुंचाई है तो I am sincerely sorry. I have learned my lesson. I have realized that there is God within everyone. I have realized the divine power within everyone. I have realized that every child of God can make mistakes. I have realized that every child of God deserves love, deserves forgiveness. So I forgive every single child of God. I forgive every soul who has hurt me. And I ask for forgiveness from every single soul whom I have hurt. Knowingly, unknowingly, intentionally, unintentionally. In this incarnation, in any previous incarnation. In every incarnation, I was a child of God. In every incarnation, all the people who have hurt me were a child of God. I have learned my lessons. Please forgive me, and I forgive every single soul. I release each one of you. Please release me. I release every single child of God from these cords of negativity, revenge, hurt, and pain. I release you all. Please release me. I let you free. Please set me free. I ask for forgiveness from God for hurting any of His child. Please forgive me. May the divine supreme God, may our divine Father, divine Mother, bless each one of us with love, mercy, compassion, and forgiveness. May I be blessed, may you be blessed. May peace be with you all and with me. Om Shanti 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 Om. May all negative, unauthorized thoughts attached to us be cut, be cut, be cut. Imagine you are standing in front of God like a small little child of God. Put your hands in the blessing position. To the all-loving, all-merciful God, to Lord Buddha Kuan Yin, the Buddha of love and mercy, thank you for blessing our relationship with God. Thank you for blessing every single child of God, including us, with your love, mercy, compassion, and forgiveness. Thank you for blessing our relationship with God, with love, with honesty, with understanding, with utmost faith, trust, hope. Thank you for blessing our relationship with God, with spirituality, with complete understanding, with transparency. Thank you for removing all fear energies from us. Thank you for blessing our relationship with God at all levels. Our limitations are not your limitations. Thank you for blessing our relationship with God in every incarnation. May every child of God be blessed. In full faith, so be it. Together we will invoke that the divine energy of the twin heart meditation that will come down during this time is going to heal us deeply. If there is any fear within us for God, if there is any misconceptions within us for God, if there is any negativity within us for God, if there is any energy which is taking us away from our God, then may all these negative energies get disintegrated from our chakras, from our aura. May the beautiful energy of love, light, and power of the twin heart meditation heal our relationship with God completely. In full faith, so be it.